got to hit that, be like with your face, like right here.
Okay.
I mean, he had come back for like a night and then leave, but it's been like 3 weeks probably. I think that's like the longest stretch. So I'm very yeah, absolutely. No. But oh goodness. Yeah. Always. How's your family?
That's a terrific age.
Yeah, I feel like around 3 is like when the screaming starts. Is what I'm learning. Yeah, like screaming
The
in my face.
terrible three.
That is, it feels. Oh, terrible. Not that it's terrible.
Oh, he's not terrible.
No, he's not. But there's a lot of screaming, more than I expected. I kind of thought he was terrible too. Yeah, they like know how to say stuff. Although maybe like a break, I don't know. Depends on the day. Yeah. Darn. How are you doing? Good. Yeah, I don't love that. Did you see the Northern Lights? No, I tried.
I tried to. I could not.
Yeah, I was like, how is anyone?
I mean, and then people post on Facebook these pictures that, yeah, come on. I could.
We live in KCK, so that was a far drive.
Yeah.
This is heavily doctored. Like,
Still.
still,
I
like,
mean, could you see them moving
no,
or anything?
no. It looked more, it didn't even look,
Did you take that picture?
yeah.
Oh, dang. That's
That's like
I
after I
read
like,
you can see more
yeah.
through your iPhone because it picks up on more colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually took that picture.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth a drive.
Couldn't see it.
Yeah,
I couldn't either. I mean, I was like, I looked out a couple different windows.
I did too.
That's the nice
I went in the backyard and looked around.
yeah.
You guys are one of me because I didn't realize that there was this.
So,
Oh, well.
Apparently Tuesday night was better.
Oh, really?
I mean, I feel like it happens more late. Like when I was growing up, I never
Right.
heard of it
Right.
happening, and now
I think I
feel
can
like
remember
it's
it happened once while I was growing up, and now it's like, okay, okay. See them again in a year. I'm guessing.
I think it is because, well, it's this. There's like a storm on the sun.
Storm.
So like there's a
Yeah.
storm on the sun, so that's part of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if like the ozone is.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like the different colors come from where the oxygen is in the atmosphere.
Hey there.
Hello, sir.
You knew that was me yesterday morning?
Yeah.
All right.
I think
Well, I
it's
figured you
20
would.
seconds.
Yeah.
There was a
You
full,
couldn't
a
wait
total.
then.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I knew it was you.
I
Right.
went
Beautiful
camping
morning,
at
too.
Smithson Lake
I love
and
That was
saw it. But
That-
of course,
right,
for
when
us,
they're
the
like
clouds
that.
Right.
were right at the
Yeah.
right
I
at the-
snow more than today.
I don't know what we didn't really have a plan. I lived in Lawrence at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I think I
There
got
were like
most
12
of it
doors.
here.
We were like, okay. So we just ran a McDonald's parking lot is where we ended up. And it was
And it felt so good. I did neighbors too while I was doing it.
Ours,
I mean, where I live, the lots are small,
Could you
so
see
it's
it
not.
that way?
yeah. Ours,
Last
yesterday.
summer we had
The leaves that come
we
from
had a
our
little bit
neighbors.
like moon
to the
pies.
west.
And
Yeah.
we all got
But this
colored
morning when I
glasses.
went out to leave,
We
it was
are
south
we're
wind
that
or
far
whatever.
from
It was
Jefferson.
all
Bad
But it
weather.
wasn't a full one. It was still
Yeah.
great.
but no.
The
They do.
full Cause it's like a phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
All right. Well, see, we've got a form.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the third or fourth one in a row.
I know. A year ago, it was not like this. Yes.
Yeah, someone.
Are you missing something? No. Okay.
They're good now. Well, mine was like fine. It just had some candy in it.
Yeah, I said this one always had candy.
I
That's kind
didn't.
of how old.
Well, that was why I never ate any. I was like,
Candy never goes bad.
He didn't-
That's my
he didn't
theory.
even hand it to Anthony.
That's my theory, yeah.
religious
Yes. See?
It is 6:07 on November 13th, and we will get our meeting of the Community Enrichment Advisory Committee started. Very good. All right. Attendance, Ryan.
Here.
Bess Bailey is here. Kristen. Kathy.
Here.
And Marcia.
Present.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our October meeting?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. No one was opposed. Great. All right, any rebooting. Any comments from the public? Okay. Let's go ahead and hop into our high school multicultural event. We have an email from them. Should I pull that up? Is it? If you have, I mean, I can search it real quick unless you have it.
No, this was sent to Martin Newton from Kylie Layton at the high school. Martin always coordinated previously, and he passed it on to Megan. Just saying, let's see, as you remember, hopefully, my name's Kylie Layton. I'm a president. She's president of the Diversity Council at Northtown this year. Wanted to reach out. The Multicultural Festival, it's the 5th annual, and actually there are no dates on here, but it's coming up. In the previous committee has donated or contributed $1,000 to the event. So if that's something that the committee would like to. I think there's also been a table or a booth set up that some of the swag goes to and members. Are you looking for a date?
There is a thing on the North Kansas City Facebook page that announces it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel-
Okay.
Food and booths from 5:30 to 7 and performances at 7.
Can you say that one more time? Just a little bit louder. Thank you.
yes. December 5th, food and booths from 5:30 to 7, and then performances at 7.
I responded to her on the 7th. I think I got the email on the 6th, so I tried to respond pretty quickly. I let her know that Martin was no longer on our committee, and I got the email. Then I asked to provide me more information about attending the festival, but we've got the information, so great. And then sharing information of what it would take to host a booth And so I could share it here. I did not hear back from her, but this is a really weird time of year. So school is odd right now. And then I also asked what it would take to sign up for a booth so we could decide if we wanted to do it. And there was no ask for money this year. And I don't know if there typically is or if we just offer it, because I can't remember last week. So unfortunately, I feel like typically they ask if we are willing to donate to it.
I think it's definitely something that they've come and asked us.
Yeah. So we don't have that ask this year. However, I feel like it's something that our money goes towards well, and is a good use of money in our community. It draws a huge crowd if you haven't been. And it's a beautiful event put on by students for students, as well as for like members of the community. It's one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Missouri. So we could go a couple different ways if we're interested in donating some money to them. I think we can decide to donate money whether or not they ask, just donate. We could decide to donate up to the amount they request at like a top amount. But that would be what we discuss and decide on tonight. Are there any other ways we could or should do it that you would recommend?
I think those are both good ways, yeah.
And then the other piece would be deciding if we wanted to do a booth and if we want to set a budget for that.
Have we done a booth in the, oh, I'm sorry. Have we done a booth in the past? And what kind of things did we do at the booth?
I did the booth with Martin maybe two years ago. And we just had some of our swag, like we had like sweatshirts and T-shirts and bags to hand out. And then we just had like the banner. We didn't go like super fancy with the booth itself. And then we were mostly just there to like interact with the community. But it is a huge event. There are so many booths. It is almost overwhelming.
I think I did the second year's event. It was very cool. But Lois was tiny. So like, I think it might have been her first year alive, like tiny. And I think what we did is we handed out things. I think we helped serve food because it was like the first year Volcano was around. So they brought a ton of food. Other groups like cooked for the event. Moms brought in a ton of food, and like it was amazing. Lots of people were there, and what I could see us doing is kind of talking more about what's like different about our group, and some of the things we hope to be doing in the spring, things like that. We could also just go and not do a booth, but just talk to people. Get to know what students and families in the area want and need out of North Kansas City.
My concern for swag is we probably don't have anything with our new name on it.
We've never really had swag with our name on it.
Yeah, we have items that say the NKC United.
Okay.
We don't have banners anymore. So I would,
Is there an opportunity to, and I don't know if that's reasonable, to just kind of draft up the surveys? Yes. That's okay. To draft up like a little mini survey to feed into the strategic plan. So if there was a booth, that might be an opportunity to just get public input about X, Y, and Z.
Yes, we also have probably a week and a half, 2 weeks to do something like a tablecloth or something with.
I can also print something on paper.
Yeah, you're really good at that. You're very good at that. So I think that's also something we could set a budget up to blank dollars and see what we could possibly do between now and then. Because if we want to order, we have the rest of this week, next week, the week of Thanksgiving, and then till Thursday. So we do have a fair bit of time.
Are there people that have that date open?
It is the first Thursday of December, Friday? I am likely available.
I've
Yes.
always wanted to go, so.
Yeah.
I'm-
It's a great event. I will say last year, it was Daniel and I and Saber that were able to show up, and we honestly just handed out candy. Like, we had our little NKC United tablecloth, little banner or whatever. We handed out candy. But it's a fabulous event. So even if we didn't like have a booth and we just attended and just like had a presence and just, looked to see what all was going on, that would be nice as well. Especially just from a capacity standpoint of who would be able to show up, if we even have materials ready to go and people ready to speak to what we are now or trying to morph into, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So it sounds like booth, yes. People available. Presence, yes. So the next thing we probably need to do is set a budget for this, for candy and such.
What, is there an expected turnout or roughly, or numbers from the past of attendees?
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That heard.
Yes.
Because it's not our event. It's just a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know in like terms of the food they've had, they've always pretty much run out. But I can't tell you how much food they've always had. But it's a well-attended event.
2 years ago, I know I think there were at least 42 booths, something like that, and then there were hundreds of people through there, and I wasn't even there the whole time.
I will say we do not have to bring candy. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough there. It'll be okay. Honestly.
Maybe Tums.
What? Just a quick question. What do you normally bring to a tabling event? Like, printed out little calendars of upcoming dates, or I guess that is the discussion of what is getting brought, because candy. I mean, I don't know if there's a standards of. Okay.
I feel like it probably depends on the event and then what the general goal is, right? So it can always change depending on what the event is. And I think that would be for us to decide, like if we decide to do a booth, what would we bring, and like what would we be able to bring, like what makes sense to bring, you know? If we don't really have any promotional items, if we wanted to do a feedback type of thing, and it could just be that we have some open-ended questions and people come and do a short little survey of what they would like to see. But I will say there are a lot of students that are going to be there. And of course, their voices are definitely, we want to hear them. But I think we would also want more of the adult voices to be heard as well. So I think it just depends on how we do it or what we want to do. That is up for discussion.
You have a lot of drawstring backpacks. That would be maybe hot topic.
Does North Kansas City have a policy on clear backpacks? Don't think. Okay.
We had the drawstring bags 2 years ago, and they didn't say anything to us then, unless something's changed. They were pretty popular, too.
Could we get together like a small flyer of some sort to hand out to people so people would know, we've had a name change and we have some goals set for the year? And it could almost be like a recruitment thing, because obviously we have some empty seats. So maybe those people that are there would be interested in coming to the committee. Megan, could we get something like that done? sorry.
Yeah, if you give me the words that you want on there, I can do the rest.
Okay.
Do you keep the amazing artwork and postery things you make for different holidays? We could also put some of those up. The ones that Megan posts for the city. They're beautiful, and I really like them. Is there one for Native American History Month?
Did we do it last year?
Don't remember.
Probably.
Yes.
I guess I have my computer.
Okay, thanks.
How much do we usually budget for candy for, like, why can't I say the name of it? Not St. Patty's Day, but Snake Saturday.
I think we typically set a budget up to X number of dollars for like things that we can do at different things. Is what we've done, especially when we're not quite sure how much we're going to do. And like in this sense, we haven't heard back. So like if there's like a booth fee, which I have no idea if there is, if we set a budget up to blank number of dollars, then if it's $20 for the booth, that would come out of it, and then we'd have this many dollars to spend towards blank and this many dollars to spend towards blank. So that's one way to do it. If we want to say we want to spend a certain amount of money towards this and a certain amount of money towards that, we could also set up a budget that way.
What does our budget look like? Does anybody know?
I don't think we've spent a ton of money this year because we haven't been able to give out a lot of candy for parades, things like that.
Yeah, this year, fiscal year started October 1, so you haven't actually spent any money in this fiscal year. And for the whole year, through September 30th, it's $10,000.
And we already own bubble machines, so problem solved.
Is that $10,000 have specific line items for?
No, it's
Bucket.
for the committee. But there are specific things as a public entity that you can't hand out alcohol. We can't purchase that.
Shouldn't take it
And
into
I-
high
and I
school no
will-
matter what.
And I will probably make council member Saber and click moan, but on my standard line, you don't have to spend it. Just because you have it. You don't have to spend all of it.
Yeah, I don't think we have. You're welcome.
Do we have to pay for the flyers if we make flyers? Or does that come out of the city?
Let's see how many you make. mean-
Should I have not asked that question?
Well, it might be a ream of paper. Most likely not, no.
Okay. And then we'd need a banner, if we can get one done that fast.
I think there is an NKC United banner. And then I have a printer that prints up to like 40 inches wide, so we can just do that.
That way we can play with different logos we like. I feel like we need a duck. I don't know why. CX just seems like we need a duck. Duck. Wonk, wonk.
I can't disagree. I just can't.
It needs a duck.
Yeah. Yeah. They're nicer than geese.
Okay, I think budget-wise, what's an event we've had candy at? Parades don't count. Parades are so much candy.
I've bought candy for, I think, estimated like 1,000 people, and some of it was donated, and this was maybe 2 years ago, and it was like $500. It's a lot.
Great. I think if we set a budget at $500, I cannot imagine us going over it. That is a ballpark number if we want to set a number to not go over. I don't imagine us buying anything else.
Do we want to include a donation?
Well, we would set that as a different number.
Okay.
If we don't use the candy, I'm assuming we can also save it for, like, if we don't use all of it, I'm assuming we can save it for other events too, like when we do like Pride, Snake Saturday.
Yeah, we could also do it. I don't know what it would take to do something at the Christmas tree lighting, but we could probably do something at that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to save it till Snake Saturday.
Yeah.
Feels kind of gross. I mean, I've saved candy for a while, but, I get it.
I'll take the leftover.
Chocolate has a year-long shelf life. I'm just going to put that out there.
Not in my house.
Not around some.
Does anyone propose a budget?
Councilmember Click is checking, but we're actually wondering if that's not the night of the mayor's Christmas tree lighting as well.
Oh,
It was good that you mentioned that. Well, but it was nice that you mentioned that because we thought,
Is it saying November 16th? That feels early. Hang on, let me look at the real calendar. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's what Google AI is always wrong. It is the same. 12:05, 6 to 7 is the mayor's tree lighting. Yeah.
5:30 is the multicultural, and then 6 is the mayor's Christmas tree lighting.
Yeah. We could divide and conquer if there's enough people. Because I don't know. I feel like missing the multicultural. That's just right in the vein. The Christmas tree lighting is always in the dark. I feel like people might not even see us.
I'm sorry. What are the hours for the Christmas tree lighting?
What?
What are the hours for the Christmas tree lighting?
6 to 7. 6 to 7.
Okay.
Cultural stores.
Multicultural.
So,
As far as I know.
how about we just not do a booth and we show up to the actual performance event for North Kansas City High School?
So much of what we've talked about so far is having our faces out and being available. So I feel like a booth would be, because if we're just there, that's great and supportive, but no one's going to really know who we are,
The time I did it, the booth was helpful because it's just like people were in the vibe of stopping at every booth. And so whether they meant to or not, they stopped at our booth. Then ended up talking to us for at least a few minutes. So we got a lot more interaction than I was even anticipating.
How many people?
I'm fine either way. I'm good either way. I just want to make sure that if we do, we need to have a decent handle on what we're saying.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of the groundwork for this, but I don't think my 4-year-old is going to let me not do a Christmas tree thing.
Who can be committed to the booth? I guess that's the first question then. Okay, so there's a couple people for that. I mean, are y'all comfortable with that? If you have some resources to communicate?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I can even,
And I'll stop by. Again, Christmas tree. Sorry.
So are we back to the budget in a motion? Are we good?
yes.
What-
Budget and
the-
emotion.
What's the fine, yeah, or candy or no candy?
We can do candy. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'm also good with 500.
So we just need someone to motion it.
Go for it.
Can I make a motion? I would make a motion to approve the $500 budget for the Multicultural Fest and to have a booth present as well. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, motion approved.
To do a donation, we'll also need a number as well. Yeah, we'll need a number, which we typically do around 1,000, I believe.
I motion to donate no more than $1,000 or up to $1,000 for the North Kansas City High School multicultural event if they need it.
Is there a second?
There's a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, well, that takes care of $1,500 of our budget.
Can we set a subcommittee? What are they? I can't think what they're called. ad hoc committee to work on this so that we have a little form and function?
We can.
I mean, like a subcommittee?
So are you saying an ad hoc where people
Well,
come in and join us, or do you want just a subcommittee?
no, a subcommittee. I
Yeah,
don't know
we can.
what the right verbiage would be, because it can have 3 people, right? So that way we can kind of discuss
Mm-hmm.
this since we're on a really short.
Yeah, this is a perfect use for the subcommittee.
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to help since I will likely not be able to make it that night.
I'll be happy.
So it'll be Bess,
Who else is?
Kathy, and it honestly can just be the 2 of us. Cool, Bess and Kathy. All right,
I
moving.
can come help too.
Yay, Kristen.
I just have one more calendar I don't have in front of me before I have a final answer. Because I only have my one calendar, and I keep 3.
Oh, man.
It's a method.
Hey, I trust your method. It's your method. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and turn to our strategic plan. Is it? Is this what we're working on? Oh, my God, look at it go. Clearly, my inbox is very full. Okay, so if you look at it, it is double-sided. It's a little packet guy. It's very cute. What would be the most helpful for the people who have not experienced this yet?
This strategic plan in particular, or
This strategic plan in particular.
a teeny bit time to process?
All right, let's go ahead and set about 3 minutes.
Thank you. Are we discussing and going over, apologies for not remembering that as much, are we discussing this goal 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 only, or are we going to discuss the timelines for the remainder goals? Of course. Okay, okay.
Got about 30 seconds left. Does anyone need more time? All right. I don't have a clear process of going through this, but I think one of the best ways to start is if we look at, and Marcia, if you have a better way to go through this, please take over. Please. What I think would be helpful is to look at look at a goal, the activities within that goal, and if there's clarification needed, let's start there. If we're ready to move on, we just move right on. If you have any questions about it, we've worked on this pretty communally. And if something's not clear, then we should probably pause there and figure out what's not clear. And if we're still not sure, we'll just fake it till we make it.
Are we going to decide the responsible party tonight? Or is that something for the future?
What?
Oh.
Sorry.
There's all these empty.
Responsible parties.
Oh, great.
She's asking if we need to decide who that is tonight. I would probably say no.
Yeah, we're pretty sparse tonight, and I don't know who that's going to be. I do not want to volunteer for more things tonight. So I would say, and I think a lot of this will be communal, right? Like recruiting members to fill empty seats, that's going to be all of it. So I don't think we need to decide that. I thought you meant like who's going to be in charge, and I was like, I think it's me. I think I'm in charge. No.
And could we even
Just cross them out. Ignore it.
5 boxes? Could we even put something like?
Or put your name in all of them. Shall not. Okay, let's go ahead and start with establish structure for foundational processes. I've also got it up on my computer if we need to make edits or comments to come back to. All right, any question about the goal? Any question about the activities?
I'm sorry, I am pedantic. I can't help it. For the second one, 1.1.2, is there? Do we need to have a more detailed structure of like what that's going to look like? Does that matter? Does it just matter that our goal is to have one?
Our goal is to have one.
Okay, wonderful. Then I can handle that.
So if it says established, our goal is to have one. If it's not working, of course we can update it to make it look different, function different. But right now we just are working on creating one.
Okay, thank you. That clarity helps.
All right, any questions around goals and activities for 1.1? Moving into timeline and metrics for 1.1.
Laughing because those empty boxes are driving me crazy. But how are we going to, I understand because I've been to the meeting. So I love what we have on here, but how are we going to make sure that this happens?
Do we have check-ins for it, or is that something that could be part of?
Yeah, I think we will have, so our timeline is built out in a way that will allow us to have check-ins up to the point. And I think the responsible party will be, I don't know if they'll be individuals. The way I see it is having smaller committee, like our subgroups. So I can see it being like several people and then those subgroups meeting on a bi-monthly basis, maybe more depending on the amount needing to get done. But I don't think it's going to be, we assign this to you January 1st, and then good luck, we'll see you in April. That's not how I'm expecting it to be done. I also don't see a lot of this being like a one-person thing. That doesn't answer your question, but I also don't think until these bigger pieces are adopted, if it makes sense to assign them. I mean, I can write things in them, but it's going to be your name on all of them.
That's so funny. Or you could write subcommittee 1, subcommittee 2,
Yeah.
and subcommittee 3, if that makes
And
you feel better.
I also think that like some of these will be like establish like it might be like advising council might have like one subcommittee, and that leads well into like something in activity 2. So because they lead well into each other, we'll put them together. But like that might not make sense until we have the responsible parties in place for like the first group. So I just don't think we're ready for that yet. But that's not like a good answer. But ignore it, just fold it under. Okay, great. Just your grocery list.
That's funny. I do have a quick question on timeline for activity 1.1.2. So for the first 90 days of each yearly cycle, are we doing a strict calendar year, or are we following fiscal year?
I think a calendar year makes the most sense because that's our term year.
Okay.
And if you follow city events and whatnot, it helps for that too, I would think.
Do you want me to clarify
Might as well.
for term year?
Yes.
Do you want
Calendar
me to
year is fine for
clarify
me.
for like calendar or term year?
I like clarity. I need it.
Yeah, so we're really looking at March for this one.
Yes, so it would be, the finish time would be March.
Okay, good deal.
I updated to say completed in March. Okay, are we ready to move on to goal 1.2?
Yep.
All right. Recruit and maintain a full committee. Possibly, where are you looking?
1.2.2 and 1.2.3 under metrics. We don't, under the 1.2.3, number 2.
1, complete trainings. 2, maintain a 7-person membership.
Because it looks like that's actually is the same activity as 1.2.2, number 2.
No, because I think I think it's the same metric. Oh, no, it's slightly different. For 1.22, it's process created, maintain the membership. And then on 1.23, it's completed trainings, maintain membership.
So maintaining a 7-person membership goes with complete education on psychological safety yearly?
Yeah, because remember, those were about creating like the foundation of our committee.
Okay.
Is this a mental health first aid, psychological safety, or does this encompass anything in particular? Is it like a
More about kind of hierarchy of needs,
okay?
as well as hierarchy of needs.
And is there trauma informed training and it all in there?
I don't know if we talked. I don't remember if we
Okay.
talked about
Okay.
that specifically.
Because I do give trainings on that.
Okay. We should all just do our own TED Talks and do training that way.
Too chestery.
Just-
That's a very difficult word. Okay, and I guess I should have asked as well. Does that indicate that every person on the committee needs to have gone through the psychological safety yearly training by the amount of time needed? Is that what that metric is saying? Like everyone on the committee has to go through this psychological safety training?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the timeline makes it weird.
I know. I was trying to refer to it, and I'm like, but it makes sense that to train before onboarding.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put a note here though. Does anyone need more time on objective and goals for recruit and maintain a full committee? What about for timeline and metrics? No, I'm just over here dilly-dallying. I'm so sorry. What about, go ahead and begin goal 1.3.
Have we already started the process of reaching out to see what platform we can use? I don't think we have, but I could be wrong.
That might have been my job. I feel like there were 3 or 4 things I needed to email Crystal about, but I don't remember.
Okay, so we'll say no, and that's okay. Okay.
But I can email her right now because I'm sitting at my computer.
So maybe I'm thinking of timeframes and like a completed by of February.
Are we a committee who writes grants at all, or does
No.
funding of any sort? Okay, makes that stuff
Well, as of this moment, no.
platform.
What?
That would just
My only concern here, do we think it would be aggressive for us to say platform adopted? It very well could be that that's the case by February, but I feel like that might be aggressive depending on what we currently have and what the capabilities are.
I think if it's the platform we have,
Then sure.
and it's like getting us up to date on using it and implementing it, fine.
Yep.
February is totally fine.
Yep.
If it's choosing a new something, I feel like that could be a lengthy process, and that.
Okay.
So I think we should likely put in an alternative date if it is for a non-already purchased option. So I'll tag that as a note.
If you're this one that's listed here,
Granicus?
yeah, I don't know how I'm just on the website, so I don't know what it would look like for just a specific committee to use it as opposed to like a local government as a whole, but you can just book a demo on the website. Oh, is it? Oh, okay, great. So it would just be kind of piggybacking off of what you're
Yeah,
already
so
doing. Okay, great.
if
Yeah,
that is
if it can
something
be.
we were able to use, it would just be a matter of us implementing it.
Right, if it can be kind of sectioned or whatever, and then if it's going to take an add-on or something, then we could find the cost out and let you guys know. Is this something you want to
Right, and if
put
it's
your money towards?
not something we could do,
Right.
it would be doing whatever process we need to figure out to find a platform that works for us.
Yeah.
which I feel like could be pretty lengthy.
It is very
Yeah.
lengthy. I
Yeah.
did it for our Parks and Rec in Parkville, and it was, I think, at least 6 months of just looking up what types of software there were, because like what were our needs even, and like what are the goals? Why are we gonna? But I've done it. I'll do it again, but it is a lengthy process.
Yeah, and budgetarily what fits and what makes the most sense.
But-
So honestly, that might be February 27. Like, that is not an unreasonable date for adopting new platforms.
Is this for you all to have a space where shared records can be looked at, or is it somewhere for like public? Both.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like a public-facing part, and then like the confidential records of whatever.
Public. The
I technically, we don't really have anything confidential.
Okay.
It's all
Right.
sunshineable, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's-
that makes
So
sense.
there's the website
Mhm.
where finished documents could be put
Mhm.
for the public.
Yep.
But as far as something for the committee to work on, like a working folder.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, Stephen, we didn't get that set up? I thought, okay.
No, I've followed up with him once. I think, Megan, you were on that thread. But it was right after he was out sick.
Right.
So no, we had the space,
Mm-hmm.
it existed. And then when the name changed, Peggy and Martin were not able to get back into it,
Okay.
is I think their key problem. I never got an email. They need to be properly tied to the seats. So Megan and I were working on that, because you're a beautiful angel. Blessings. So it's like, I think everyone's in kind of a different little place on it. Whereas like some people have the email, some people don't. Some people were able to get it in with the previous name, and now they can't across the like file sharing space. Maybe it was Cy that was one of them. There's also been a lot of change. So yes, so it's pretty complicated across that.
All right. I've got a note here. We'll touch base with Stephen
Cool.
and kind of see where we're at and regroup and.
But I know there's a place where we can share documents,
Mm-hmm.
almost a cloudy space kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, and then if you, from those shared documents, if you have a folder, these things should be on the website. I could put things on the website. So,
Angel, princess, goddess.
yeah, that's me.
Yes.
So it sounds like this is all things that we have, and it should be free or encompassed in the things we already buy.
So then, complete. Complete. Cross it off.
Incredible.
Amazing. We're doing so good.
Haven't touched the budget.
I know.
crossed off
I love free.
goals.
I love
Amazing.
already paid for. Okay. Goal 1.4. It's nothing. This is actually added in towards the end of our meeting when we were pretty toasty. Establish a regular monthly work time meeting. We just need to merge the calendars. I can't tonight. But I think a reasonable time to do that is by like, I'm just going to say February 26. Feel like we can have some life together. Oh man, that took me down to another page entirely. Nope.
Remember there's that goal.
Sure is. It's in that goal.
Yep.
It's a really important goal, Kathy. I don't know why you're making fun of it. I've also completely lost that box. So, sorry guys.
Was that the goal of establish a regular monthly work time meeting?
That was the goal, yes.
Okay. Thank you. I think it's a good goal.
Oh, we'll tell you the other goal we're talking about off record. 26. Okay, I'm not even gonna I feel like the goal is the activity for this one. It's pretty explicit. And then I'm just gonna call that one every one. Great. All right, that takes us into objective 2, increase community engagement. New eyes would be great on this. So if you have not seen it yet, and I feel like this is you. So any opinion, we would love it. Looking at goal 2.1, create opportunities for community conversation. And these don't have timelines, so if you think you have a good timeline, we can always put it in here as an option. Go ahead and read through activities 2.11 through 2.13.
For activity 2.11, the develop informational content, were we thinking like informational content about the committee, informational content about like resources in the community, or just kind of all of the above, just keeping it kind of vague on purpose so that we can develop informational content in general?
So aren't we already doing that by getting flyers together? So we're kind of on our path.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Like, is that kind of the informational content we're looking for? More things that are like information about the committee itself, so people know like how to reach out if they have questions or concerns, or like how to get involved, or more like just
I think it would be a hodgepodge, if I'm being honest. I think starting out, it would just be like, I don't know, like I tried to draft something here of just like new name, same mission, right? And so that more people are aware, like we've made a name change, here are the goals of this new committee, and here's an email if you have a concern, have feedback, what have you, right? That could be one thing. Another thing could be like informational content being some of the surveys that we try to put out. Later on, some of the events that we're either going to be attending or sponsoring, if you will, right? So I think it would be a hodgepodge and just kind of go in phases as we're getting to different content levels. Yeah.
I put some clarification in mixture of content and about committee. Timeline is ongoing. First deadline would be 2/1/26, just so we have something just to quantify it somehow, and then content developed is the new metric. Any other questions about goal 2.1?
Maybe we just put in phases, like phases for content.
Tell me how you want to capture it. I'm fine with literally whatever.
I feel like what we create will depend on what we're able to do as a council. So maybe having like phase 1 set, and like phase 1 being just very general, generic information of like new name, goals. And that can be like, let's say, phase 1 for February 2026. After that, I feel like it would need to be more of a revolving either every 3 or 4 months, you know, we come out with something different depending on what's going on, or just as items come up, then we can update materials and whatever that looks like.
An as-needed basis or?
Yeah.
Any other updates or things to add? All right, moving on to 2.2. Create, distribute, and gather surveys.
Do we have to have city council approval for surveys, or can we send out our own surveys? I wasn't sure.
I think you all can send them out. It'd be a good thing to relate, well, to be mentioned prior to.
I can relay.
Yeah, but yeah. No.
The city does have a Survey Monkey account, and so.
I think it'd be best if we had a survey after the year, you know, not at the very end of the year, but after we've had some of the activities, so, you know, or you could even do like one pre and then one post, and then it could even be something like, do you know what this committee does? And then, you know, you pre-post and you can get an idea if we've actually, you know, made people aware of our committee and what we do.
If we do it per event, like surveys per event, or you want info, I'm gonna start that one over. If we're doing it to collect feedback following events and tablings, it's better to do it immediately after because it's fresh and then people don't forget, and hopefully they see a smiling face when they leave, so they're not, you know, whatever. But I do like the pre and the post idea too, where it's like, what are you hoping for to see this year? And then at the end of the year, like, what did you like about, you know, I love surveys. Yeah, like, how have you engaged with this committee?
I adjusted the timeline to pre and post, and I'm assuming you meant 26. I also took a bite of the chewiest protein bar. I'm so sorry. Any other for surveys? Moving on to 2.3. Find ways to engage renters in the community.
Is this also something that we can piggyback along with groups who are doing, kind of that work, but sort of, in a way, to accomplish the activities there? Or is it, I guess I'm asking, so there's the metrics and the KPI that to match up for this activity of providing information, right? So 3 new partnerships established with the apartment buildings, but if there are organizations, okay, I'm going to backtrack that.
Okay, great.
I think
Go
I
for
just
it.
answered it for myself, so.
Cool.
Thank you.
You sure? Okay.
I think we need to get cracking on this right away, because we need to establish those so that when we have an event coming up, we already have that that communication lines going. So why don't we just say February of 2026 that we have it accomplished? Thoughts?
All good thoughts. Okay, I've got end of February 2026 is our timeline on 231. I will also move that down to our second goal for that category. But I feel like that needs to be a similar update in phases. Guys, we're doing so good.
How complete? Okay, figured it out.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How completely are we like? Is the metric of renters engaged? Are we trying? Are we aiming for that? Like 100% of renters engaged, or is it like we hope somebody hears about it?
I mean, as far as it goes right now, I think like if we got 20 more renters, I'd be super psyched.
Okay. Well, check one from me then. Or so because there are so many. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I was asking.
I know my answer wasn't super helpful.
It was. It was. It's just going to inform a different conversation. That's for another time.
Okay.
That's fair. I'll say, like, for context, right now, if you look at the different apartment complexes around, there's not like a lot of. I'll just speak for me, right? Being in a complex, there is not a lot of city events that are promoted, right? And like I know a lot of the stuff that has been around my building is because I have put it there, right? So just it would be another demographic to pull in. You know what I mean?
And I was not very clear with that because the like private landlords with people renting their homes and whatnot. I don't know if that was something where it's targeting or if it was like, no, we need to let's stick with these that we recognize are renters first before we start looking at data overlays.
I think when we had the conversation, it was more geared towards like apartment complexes.
Okay.
Especially because we've had such big growth in large apartment complexes in the last 3 years, 4 years? I feel like
yes.
they're really, really new, but I don't think that's actually true.
Like in the last 3 years, there's been 4 new buildings at least. So
Okay, so yeah, my timeline isn't that skewed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backyard Aura, Oxbow, and 23rd Swift.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So my head's right. But they have had such a large population boom, but we don't have a good way of targeting new information to them. I have a couple different coworkers that live in the different apartments, and they don't have good access to it unless they are being invited to things.
Right, 'cause Marcia, you and I have talked about this before, but every house gets like the newsletter, but individual apartments do not get the city newsletter, right? It's like delivered to the apartment complex.
Yeah, so I finally started getting the newsletter like 2 years after I was here, but I don't think that's everyone, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this once before.
Yeah, because for like the longest time I was like, I didn't even know we had a newsletter. It's like, yeah, we do. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Anybody with the city know how those are sent out?
They're mailed. They're mailed. So, sorry. I know Marcia was one that was helpful with us tracking down the apartment numbers and all that. But they're mailed to apartments. But it also can also take signing up and with all the new development, getting caught up to it. But I want to say there was a push this last year on getting all that up to date with Aura and 23rd and Swift and Oxbow and all that. I think there's an option. To have it emailed But I'm pretty sure it gets sent out through the
Yeah.
postal service.
That's how I've always received it. Like, once I started getting it, it's always just been through the mail. I know, so another idea that I had, this has been a while back, but if we were able to do like a QR, like a standard QR code, and just have like the updated digital newsletter there, and, you know, list of events going on in the city, that would really be helpful and would help save printing costs as well. So, right, so a little bit of sustainability in there, which would be nice. I know that we had in the backyard, we now have a TV that's like a lobby area that has started having like a little slideshow of different events going around, like all around the city. So, you know, the Overland Park things will be there, you know, some things that are happening in North Kansas City, what have you. And I have found that very helpful. So even if there's something we can do with that, or, I don't know, pop something in the elevators, you know, it doesn't have to be like a huge lift or like a lot to print necessarily, but just having a spot, you know, and like, a commitment from these apartment complexes that say, yeah, you know, drop it off, we'll put it up.
I do, at my day job, which is upstairs, have access to the property manager's information for all rental places. We'll be getting the updated stuff in January, and then I can share that so you guys can then create a, like, you know, relationship saying, hey, will you put these in your lobby, et cetera.
We're so close. Okay, so we reached out to apartment complexes. I can't read today. No, we're on a new one. Okay, 2.4. Be a community resource. Take a minute and just read through those.
Do apartment complexes in North KC have food drives and whatnot regularly?
So I think it'll depend on the community. I'm not sure, like, across the board. I know for us, we've had, I want to say we've had like diaper drives, we've had clothing drives. I don't think we've had a food drive in particular, but I think it's just up to whoever's kind of managing that complex, and who, what organization they're partnering with for like that particular month or whatever. We haven't done anything, if I'm recalling correctly, I don't believe we've done anything like the second annual diaper drive, you know, but it's just kind of like here or there.
So does this activity specific just for for goal 2.4 to be a community resource, is this first activity about apartment complexes, is it specific to the apartment complexes with a purpose? Like, is there, or could it be reach out to blank to participate in resource drives? I think I'm stuck on the apartment complexes of, can it be more flexible, or does it have to be, like, was this chosen for a reason? No criticism, just.
I think some of the neighborhoods do them.
Okay.
So, Northgate Village just did theirs. I don't think Ward 3, I could be very wrong. I don't think Ward 3 did when we lived over there. You what? Never?
We've never done
Yeah.
anything like that.
I know Northgate Village does. I'm sure the high school does one. We've been talking about doing them in a variety of ways. We've talked about doing them as like a ward challenge. We've talked about doing them as like different things, possibly with the high school. I think we've talked about having apartments do it in a way that's like possibly on like a move out or something similar. I think the reason we have listed out apartments as a specific target area is because we know we have not focused on them as a group.
Got it. Okay.
We also know that North Kansas City is a hub for renters.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have a lot of renters here, and we want to make sure. I think one of the challenges is if you are a renter, you don't always feel like you are fully rooted here. And we don't want that to be the case because I wasn't a renter here, but I was a renter that was like here because I had a boyfriend and was back and forth a lot. But now I am like living here, moved houses because we wanted to be here for the high school for
And
like
the bus lines.
like 14 years later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just opens up a whole new population because, each complex has a sizable amount of
Yeah.
people. Yeah, so
Okay.
not wanting them to be left out, but also, increasing the amount of coats or food or whatever it is that we can
And they
collect
tend to
as
have
a
like community engagement budgets.
Interesting.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I've seen that, and that's interesting. So thank you. I'm excited now. Well, I was already excited. I'm always excited.
Any questions about being a community resource?
I had a question about the metric for the hosted food drive one time per year. It says 3 total at the end. Is that like 3 total food drives? Because the metric is 1 food drive per strategic plan year is completed, then it says 3 total afterward.
Unclear.
Okay.
Maybe we're adding all 3 together.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, unsure.
That would make sense. It's like we're going to stop
Um,
at 3 and then we're done forever.
We never help
No more.
anyone
No
else.
more food
Done
drives.
helping.
We'll do 3 total.
it could also be that because we're trying to get 3 partnerships with apartments. So
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm gonna highlight it. That feels like something I should highlight. Please, someone help me remember all these things. There's also something above that says X number of apartment complexes. So I'm sure it is here with a purpose. I can tell you it is here with a purpose. Like I know.
I assume there was a purpose. I just was checking.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because of this goal number 5 or 251. But I'm grasping at straws. I don't remember. Okay, and then go ahead and review this last goal. Any questions about this last goal?
do we want to be specific with the type of community partnership? So are we looking specifically at businesses? Are we looking specifically at apartments? Are we looking, you know what I mean? Do we want to break that out, or are we just going to consider anything a community partnership?
Could it be done where it's like with donors, like individual donor versus corporate donor? So like corporate partner versus, like, is that where you, or like business partner?
Sure, it could be.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll throw that in.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was more so thinking like a partnership with, let's say, Pizza Tasio versus the backyard apartment complex, right? Like, are we considering both of those fair game for a community partnership, or are we wanting to have a little bit of a separation or guideline for what that means?
I was thinking, because it says it's under community organizations, it was less about businesses and more about like building relationships with the groups in town who we could utilize for extra resources for different projects we would do. For example, we might work with the library and like the other day when we were meeting at the library, I noticed there's only like 2 boxes left in the Narcan box. That might be a problem for the winter. I don't know. I've never had to use one. I hope I don't ever have to use one. But in my head, I feel like with as much as we hear about like the opioid epidemic, like I feel like 2 boxes is not enough. Like, how do we partner with them to make sure like they get more, and like they're also willing to work with us for like holding on to the buddy bags, or having like, if we have resources we can give them to share with people who might need them, we can work together in like a cooperation that is helping the people of our community, because the library is like the #1 place people should go if they need help. They're like, librarians are amazing. They're also angel princess goddesses.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge advocate of the library. They also do collective community resources and everything. Libraries do everything and all the time, and I love libraries.
So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, library, Metro Lutheran Ministries, because they've come in and talked about how they use HUD and other local organizations that have funding through like census to help out. If they've got funding that is like government funding supposed to help people who are showing up on the census, that's a really good tool to use. I'm trying to think of like another place that we've talked about wanting to, the fire station, the police station, being willing to like help us out with like, we have all these gloves and hats and flashlights. Will you please pass them out to people you encounter who might need them? Because it is starting to get cold at a really irregular pace. Those kind of groups, rather than just like Pizza Tassio for donating to an event we might do. We could outline those now. My 3 were mostly made up, but if we want to use them, we can. I worked really hard on coming up with examples.
The business council could be another one.
Yeah, which is both businesses and organization. I've really enjoyed them coming to city council meetings. It's like we're learning so many things.
We don't have to do this now, but I think it's fair if we put a cap amount. I'm just thinking about like mathematically, right? If I see a goal of 3 new partnerships per year, and it doesn't, in this, is if we don't have it laid out like, oh, but there's 12 total, however many it is, I don't know, but let's say it's 12 total, right? When you hit that 4th year, you're going to be at the max. You know what I mean? And so I would not be upset if there was like a, hey, you know, as it stands today, there are however many community partnerships that we're looking to engage, and then go forth from there. But just recognizing it's not like we have 50,000.
Yeah.
Perpetual growth.
Correct.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and also the partnerships you have made in 1 year, you have to maintain over time.
Correct.
And leadership comes in and goes out, and
Correct.
sometimes missions change, and
Yep.
so I put in examples, the ones I like crafted quickly. But I also think that maybe we don't have 3 a year,
Mm-hmm.
because the rate we meet and the other projects we're hoping to do over time.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's fair. Like,
So
yeah.
I'm going to highlight that as well. I don't know if they're realistic, and that's also like not something I'd want to put into a ad hoc committee.
Right.
All right, you guys want to hear the great news? That's done.
Woohoo, yay.
All right, let's move on. Let's check some things off. All right. In order of efficiency and focus, which I'm working towards in my life, we've put committee member comments and announcements together, and we'll just go in a circle. So with that, we'll start with Ryan.
I don't think I have any. I'm good. And my next month's my last meeting, but other than that.
Then, can we go to you, Marcia? Let's do it. Go.
The one time I'm like really trying to get this thing on, it didn't turn on. Okay. So I'm just going to say thank you to Laura Cromie because the working sessions that we have had, end of October and then mid-November were wonderful. A great way to level set and get things written out foundationally. So that has been wonderful and amazing, and we're very thankful for her time because she came out on a Saturday, 2 Saturdays, to spend time with us. So thank you. Excited for what is to come, and next month will also be my last meeting, but we'll always be here as a resource and to help get the word out. Mm-hmm.
So I get to follow that.
I mean,
She knows how I feel about that, so we don't even need to go into that. Just, I've been talking to Jesse a little bit about some of the things that he would like, since we've been doing this type of stuff as mayor, what he would be interested in doing, and he came up with the same houseless food, the typical ones. The other one that he had was setting up communications and channels and events where people from the city council and the mayor could go and have like conversation with members of residents or people who work here to get their feedback. And these people would be people that don't typically come to town hall meetings. So, and that was a really good point, I thought. And so that might be something for us to kind of work on in the future, is to set up some meetings for people that typically wouldn't be interested in coming to a group like that, because he sees the same people coming over and over again.
Okay, hi. I'm Kristen. Hi, everybody. Happy to join in for my first meeting today. I will miss you both after next month. Very excited to be here. And I don't know what anything in particular I need to comment on, or just that's it? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for letting me join this committee. And yeah, I'll use my enthusiasm for good, not evil.
you. Sorry I missed the work session, but it looks like it was really productive. I think this is amazing. Getting all this figured out to kind of be able to take the next steps of action is going to be huge. Ryan, Marcia, sad to see you go. We'll find some people, putting some feelers out. It'll be great. And I feel like I had something else, but I don't. Oh, should we set up a time for the meeting for the booth at the multicultural? We should just do that now while everyone's together. If it's after the meeting, that's fine. But just we should do that so we don't forget. Or get schedules get crazy and all of that. And I still feel like there's something else, but I'll say it next time. You guys are great. Bye.
And then on that note, I call this meeting over at 7:32. Gavel, please. Thank you.
It's our average age is 60 plus years old in this current market. But with adding in Riverside and with Parkville, we know we're going to see a younger demographic. So we're watching the trends. We'll see where everything is, and we'll just add our employees to it.